So your intro
I just hope
before,
that it's getting both sides. Whenever I'm talking, it's like it's doing what it's supposed to. So.
when you were doing it, yeah, see, I'm seeing blips when I'm talking, and I'm seeing bigger blips when you're talking. Yeah! So, alright, this is Ninja XD, and I'm here with the infamous.
No, I can't see. The thing is, I can't see Infamous. I think I've used it like twice.
Yeah.
You don't even understand how it is.
Yeah, you were actually not here for me.
Okay. Hello and welcome to RoadRashRadio. I'm your host Ninja XD, and this is the tax dodger, bail jumping, throttle therapy 7.
What's up, guys?
All right, so what are we talking about today?
Well, first off, I'd like to address the fact that I sound like Froggy off the Little Rascals, and
Never seen it.
working construction with insulation has jacked my voice up, so that's what that is today.
Oh,
And-
and we are doing it in person.
Yes, we are finally here in person, doing it at our own spot. Now that
So audio's
now
gonna be
that-
kind of weird and everything, getting everything
yeah,
taken care
we're
of,
going through
so.
some changes, and just for the listeners, like, to backtrack, we released 6.5 or 6.5, episode 6.5, which was pretty much saying, guys, we have to take a break. There's some crisis. We each had like some weird craziness going on, and we won't get into specifics because the verdict is still out on some stuff. But for myself, I got engaged, and this is my fiance, Mikhail Rain. Say hi, babe.
Yay!
And my boy Ninja XD over here was going through some legal difficulties concerning not concerning two-wheeled vehicles, but concerning four-wheeled vehicles.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that. So there was some legal complications.
There's still some stuff that still could be pending, so I'm going to keep it in the down low.
So just to let you guys know, we are really about that life, and this is some super authentic material you get here.
Under the
So
radar.
listen to us because we know what we're talking about when we talk about this stuff. So that should add some street cred to all of our
Is it street
particular
cred, or would it be
theme,
like
yeah.
asphalt cred?
I think in this case,
but then
it would be
but
asphalt
then you
cred
gotta shorten it and
because-
be like ass cred, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just kind of weird. I don't know.
no, that's a good point.
All right,
Because
real-
street cred isn't gangbanging stuff, so or it is normally stuff that's more like urban stuff, and this
Yeah.
is more just like, hey, I'm not dealing drugs, but I just ran from the cops a couple of times. Well, why? Well, I mean, just cause, all right?
It wasn't like
Just-
like
It seemed like the thing to
under
do
the
at the
prison
time.
kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like you gotta, if you ain't gonna watch out for your future, then who is? Sometimes you gotta make a dash for it.
Yeah.
I mean, generic hard candy treat.
Yeah.
Better sponsors than that.
So that is a general explanation, guys, for why we had to take a little leave of absence there. And we're back now. We're back at it. No more breaks. So you guys can look forward to seeing us again every week as per usual. Now that we've avoided imminent doom for the time being.
So what was 6 about? What did we talk on that?
So honestly, 6 was, I don't even recall, to be perfectly honest with you. It's been a little while since we've done one. Then
Did we
6.5 was almost like an emergency broadcast. It was almost
was
like,
in my garage,
It was
dude.
almost like,
I did
hey
it in the
guys,
garage.
there's some really sketchy shit going on.
I don't
and
even
I
think
gotta
it's
go.
on SoundCloud,
Yeah.
dude. It was just like
It
I
was
recorded in my garage.
YouTube exclusive, frantic GoPro video.
I was like walking up the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we recorded about the safety check.
Safety check.
Mm.
So are you talking about like bike safety stuff?
Did we
We tried to.
But
I don't think
something
the thing
happened.
ever made it. Yeah. So today what we are going to go over, guys, is something that we had tried to before. Excuse me. And we hadn't gotten a chance. And it's our perspectives on how to not wreck your bike. And that changes a little bit person to person. But him and I have both had multiple wrecks when we were starting because we ride pretty hard. We're not about just going fast in a straight line. We're about hitting turns and riding aggressively in curves. So
hitting stationary objects.
Yeah, and sometimes hitting stationary objects in the beginning. So we got to a point, though, where I feel like we've both matured over the years we've been riding, and we still ride really aggressively, but we just don't wreck as much. So
I think the first rule that the first lesson that you learn, like how you know that you're starting to get smarter, is don't pass in turns. Like, people say it all the time, and I used to do that, even in cars. I used to pass in turns, whatever.
Yep.
But then you get older, and you get a lot of close calls, and you're like, not even
No,
worth
I was
it.
actually telling that story
That's
to
like
somebody the other
step
day.
1. Like, level 1, level up to level 2 or something, I don't know.
Is when you get to the point where you go, I'm not just going to completely go balls out and roll the dice on this one anymore. It's like,
Absolutely.
I heard this guy, Chris if you want some good YouTube videos, look up this guy, Chris McDougall, on YouTube. He's a base jumper, and he described it as you have your jar of skill and you have your jar of luck.
Oh, yeah.
And you want to use your jar of skill as much as possible, so you have saved your jar of luck for when you dip into it.
Just in case.
Yeah, and in the beginning, you're dipping into your jar of luck all the time, and you want to get to the point where you're letting that shit rebuild a little.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was actually on that subject. I was actually telling that story the other day to a guy he was like, there's some guys where he's like, you might have the faster car, but they'll just beat you with balls. And I was like, I'll tell you a story about that. And I started telling him about the time where I was actually ahead of you. And you were talking about making passes and turns in cars too. And I think it was the first time we were running together, and I actually got ahead of you in the VW. And I was in a blind curve.
Wait, Lowe's?
No. This was right up here around that blind curve that the Tiburon died behind that night. And so check this out, guys. I am in the lead.
Wait.
No.
Wait. The reason that it died, though, let me bring it back.
No, this isn't that story.
This isn't that
story.
I know. But the reason that it died is not because of Hyundai. I like Hyundai. Okay? It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. Okay?
I don't
but
condone or endorse anything that's being said right now.
The reason that it died on the hill is because I took the battery out from underneath the hood and put it in the trunk and rewired the power
Now,
wire.
I'd like to say, in case anyone happens to be wondering why you would do something like that, we're from West Virginia, and it was to make room for 12-inch subs and a big retrofitted cold air intake.
Oh, that's what it was. It was the cold air intake. Yeah. I was like, I don't need a battery.
Custom made. So, no. Listen, before I get sidetracked.
That got so much air, son.
Yeah, I bet.
It got so much air.
It got so much air that it ran through sensors
gauge that high,
candy.
like blue.
Yeah.
Power wires,
constantly.
like copper blue. Oh my god.
You kept those things in like the cup holder because you were replacing
Then I had to
them
drill
so
through
often.
the frame for some reason, and then I drilled into the power supply for the fuel
Let's
pump.
not get into the
stuck in
nitty gritty on how you fucked up a perfectly good car trying to put a massive cold air intake on. Let's not get
It was
into that.
fucked up before. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't want back seats.
So anyway,
okay.
This was the first time that I had run against him, and I was in the lead, and going in a blind curve that goes over a blind hill while you're in the blind curve.
Yeah.
I look to the left because I've got third gear wound up. I'm probably doing 60, and I'm like not even looking to the side because I had glanced in the rearview mirror and you were behind me, and I hear his engine and I look to the side and I'm like,
because that cold air intake.
What the fuck? And there he is right next to me in the oncoming lane in a blind curve going over a blind hill. And I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not trying anymore. Yeah, you got
there's a lot of shit that I don't
salty.
remember, though.
You got salty and you just went for it. Balls out right there. And that was what I decided.
I came face to face, or you did?
You were in the oncoming lane passing me, going over a blind curve in a blind. Yeah, going through a blind curve and over a blind hill. Like, it was
burnout shit.
The sketchiest pass I've ever. It wasn't sketchy. It was like suicidal. Like, it wasn't like,
it was gambling.
It was just straight up dice roll. Like, it was literally just a dice roll. Like, you had zero clue what was around the other side, and you were like, Yeah, let's find out. Fuck Brooke.
Dude.
And that's what you did. And I look in the left-hand lane, and there you are in the oncoming lane. And, like, I swear it was like our fucking eyes met for a second. Like, I look over, and there you are, and I was
Did
like...
we meet a car?
No! Oh, but bro, do you think...
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Like, no, of course we didn't, dude.
I think I was
Thank
playing,
God.
like, Need for Speed before
Yeah,
that. Like,
dude.
I have to watch what I play before I go out, or,
Bro.
like, movies I watch, so I'm serious.
I mean, I was done. When you did that, I was like, cool, bro, that's you. Like, you got it, man. That was that. So then the next time I tried pushing him when I was in the lead, the next time I was in the lead and I was really pushing it against you, was when I totaled the car that you had passed me in there.
Showed you, don't do
So,
that. Don't do that.
so kids, the lesson in that is when you make a promise to yourself, don't break it.
And that was episode 2,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was like one or two.
episode 3, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
God. Oh, so what happened with the oil pan on your Volkswagen? I was talking to my dad about that the other day. Something happened, and a car was coming your way. It was on like Saturday
The
or
one I
Sunday
wrecked.
road, and then you had to drive. off.
Yeah.
You're talking about
This was
hot metal.
before. This is the same car that we were talking about that I
Before the
totaled.
wreck, yeah.
The one that we mentioned in episode 3 about me totaling racing him.
Yeah.
So I was going down. West Virginia has these one-lane roads where people are going both directions, and they're hauling ass, and it's a single-lane road, and people fly. I mean, I've hit 100 miles an hour in spots on those roads, and you'll be going from 100 miles an hour in a straight stretch to slowing down and flying through a turn
And then
at
into
60,
somebody's yard,
and then
dodging
two
somebody.
people will just like you come over through a curve, and all of a sudden you're both just like putting the car under the shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sketchy. It's legitimately sketchy. Well, I was going down on my way away from work, and there was on one of these single lane roads, and there was a truck parked on the side of the road, like a dump truck, a heavy truck, and I go around it. The guy's like all the way off in the shoulder, so I go around the truck, and a guy swings out like with his arm on a handle, swings into the road right as I'm going around the truck, and I would have hit the dude. And so I drop my two wheels into the gravel off the pavement, and there's this massive shoulder. Like, the pavement is like 6 inches tall or more.
Oh.
And I drop my left wheels onto the pavement, and there's just this horrific scrape. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I know what that is. And so I go whipping the car over, pop my door, and just stick my head under it without even getting out of the car. Just drop the door open and look
While you're
underneath.
driving?
No. But there's
Yeah.
sorry, not that good. So there's a pencil stream of oil coming out the bottom of my car, and I'm like, sweet, great. So before I have run out of oil, I spin the car around as quick as I can, go running up to the top of the hill, and then flip the ignition off. I coast down this massive hill, and I was like not far from the job site at all. And there's a 2-axle trailer with the ramps down. Because we had been using it to offload stuff, and I coast right down the hill, right across the driveway, and up the 2-axle onto the trailer in one move and pull the emergency brake.
So they're
and
just
all
like-
the rest of my oil just drains out on the 2-axle, and the guy's like,
What just happened?
yeah, exactly. Like, just silently coast down the whole hill and right up onto the 2-axle, and like all of my oil just drains out on the trailer. So,
And then that's whenever we found out how much of a pain it is.
to try to
not be
JB
able
weld
to-
oil
yeah,
pans,
you can't weld
It
hot
doesn't
metal.
work. No.
No.
Oh, aluminum welding. Yeah, because we tried to get these guys to aluminum weld the hole while we
I
were
did,
waiting
dude.
on the oil pan.
So the first time
Yeah.
I actually really bad wrecked myself hitting that Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
I didn't want to order the foot pegs, so I took them up here to that coal welding place.
Yep.
And they said that they could weld aluminum.
It was like the brake or the shifter was broken in half, wasn't it?
The whole foot peg was broken in half, in 3 pieces actually.
And the lever, like the rear brake lever, wasn't it?
The brake, yeah.
Yeah.
The brake is what was broken.
Yeah.
So like I had it like I super glued it together, but that's your main brake, you know. And if you
Well,
like
not your
stomped
main,
on it,
but
your foot's
yeah.
gonna hit
It's
the
one
hit
of
the
your
road, like
brakes.
smash, and your like foot's dragging the road. So, anyways, I take it up here, and they said, yeah, we maybe no, this is what he tells me. So you know that's good.
Yeah. When your mechanic says, yeah.
Well, he's like, I'll give it a shot. I'll call you when it's done. 4 days later, like it's just like a piece like that put together.
Yeah.
4 days later, he calls and says, "Well, I can't promise it, and it don't look pretty, but it's done." And I'll go up there because it's just right here at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And I asked for him, and he brings it out, and sure enough, dude, it looks terrible. It's terrible. It's like.
Hey, I will say,
it
I was impressed as fuck, dude.
Mm-hmm. I used it.
So impressed.
I used it a couple times, but it sketched me out though.
Dude, that thing was so thin. I don't know how he didn't just melt a hole in it.
He did in a couple places.
Dude,
and he had to like build up weld on the back.
Yeah, and he buffed it afterward and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was actually, it looked like shit, but it should have not even existed.
It looked like shit because it had so much like bulk to keep it together.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it wasn't like a weld line as much as like a weld puddle.
It was puddle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever I picked it up, I said, what do I owe you? He said, I can't. He said I can't charge anything for it because if
I can't
something
co-sign
happens,
it.
Yeah, if anything happens, then I'm liable.
Die. Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah.
cool, free weld job. All right.
Cool, dude. Thanks, man.
So I threw it in the car and truck on. But
yeah.
Man, I hooked that to the bike, and I think we took it out like 3 times.
Yeah.
Rode it hard 3 times, and I was like, this ain't even worth it, dude. Because that was the same time I worked with a guy that looked like Santa Claus, and he fixed his own master cylinder on this front brake, locked it up on the highway. He wanted to fix it himself.
I remember this.
Killed
dude.
himself.
Didn't he die?
Yeah. Flipped over his handlebars. He was like 280 pounds, dude.
Yep.
And then he wanted to do it to save like what, $80.
Yep.
And then he locked it up, flipped it on his way to work.
Yep.
And I was there the next day whenever his family took his
ticket
toolbox,
punched over
dude.
saving $80, dude.
Yeah.
Super not worth it.
No, it's not worth it, especially not your brakes.
No.
Well, anything. I mean, you're on 2 wheels, and then really,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which leads me back to the thing we were talking about, which was the subject of how did we learn to stay alive on bikes running hard. So I feel like that is
close calls.
Honestly, yeah, 100%. Because one of the biggest things that I learned was the first wreck I had was from us fucking up, putting the front caliper on.
Well, we only had 1 bolt on it.
Yeah,
and it was a bolt from Lowe's.
And all of that is like, it's like get it done right. Like what you're doing on your bike matters because you can be the best rider in the world, and if you half-ass or get somebody else to half-ass a job on your shit, you might be the best rider in the world, and you might bite it over that.
It comes into your equipment, dude.
Exactly.
Like what happened, I'm not going to name the name, but like what happened to that other shop that you took it to, they didn't even put the rear axle in.
Yep.
They didn't bolt it back. And it came apart whenever we were going through Oak Hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we were back at Lowe's trying to modify Lowe's bolts.
Yeah, dude, I'd forgotten about that. So what we're talking about here was I had a tire change done at a pretty reputable place, and I always look over. Yeah.
Like a chain dealership.
Normally, I check my bike over before I get on it, but with a place like this, I was like, I was kind of in a rush, to be honest, and then I also was like, I think it's good because this place is legit, So him and I are on our way back from probably about 30 minutes away. We're on a highway stretch. We run them up there. I mean, there was one stretch where we were doing about 120. And we slow down, hit an exit ramp at about 90. And so as I hit the exit ramp and I bear to the right to hit the exit ramp, I just feel this shift. Like the whole back tire just shifts. And I immediately pull off.
No, it shifts and you kind of pull it
back
up.
Check
and I
this
run up the
out.
side of you and
Check
I'm like,
this out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So once I get off, I flip my kickstand down, go to the back of the bike. My axle nut had completely gotten off of my axle, and it had made it all the way through one of the swing arms, all the way out of that swing arm.
It was sticking out the other side.
Like 4 inches out of the one swing arm,
if you
just
kept
barely
going,
holding my wheel on.
If you would have kept going, your whole tire would have been knocked
my
out.
whole tire would have literally just dropped off the back of my bike at 90 miles an hour.
Swing arm against asphalt.
Yeah, it was so sketchy. So that was another similar kind of thing where nothing happened, but we were just like,
really lucky.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I think your first one, whenever the brake caliper swung up.
Which I think we had that in an episode early on too. But I think that's a very good point. Like one of the big things is your equipment, which sounds really obvious, but it isn't that you know it's a good idea to take care of your stuff. It's that you're trying to save a buck because bike maintenance is expensive. Yeah, exactly. So it sounds really obvious, but what gets you is trying to save money because bike maintenance is expensive. But as cliched as it is, because everybody says it, we're young cats that ride hard, and I would say we've both learned that. Like, we've definitely both learned it isn't worth
unless
it,
it's tires or now I can do sprockets or brakes. I don't do it.
Yeah.
I'd take it someplace else because I don't trust myself.
Even more so if you actually are trying to really ride your bike and go hard sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
dude, I forget to tie my shoes sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Why would I trust myself to, in a serious note?
Yeah, for sure. I think that separate from that, I think when it comes to everybody talking about riding in traffic and, other people act like other people will get you killed to the point where you just cannot ride a crotch rocket and not die. Like, not everybody, but there's a big demographic in West Virginia, because West Virginia is mostly cruiser riders, that act like if you're on a crotch rocket, it's a suicide machine. There's no way to ride it without other people taking you out.
It's towns where people are older.
Yeah, it's all towns where a lot of older riders. It's a lot of like Sunday afternoon cruiser type of people. Like, the thing is, I have ridden
in today.
Yeah, it's more of that kind of a crowd. Today. So you and I have both ridden out of state. We've ridden in North Carolina. We've ridden in all the bordering states, Virginia, Kentucky. I've ridden in super heavy traffic in states like North Carolina, near a bigger city where you actually have a rush hour. Unlike in West Virginia, or even in Huntington, dude, there is heavy traffic and there is rush hours. I've ridden at high speed and bumper-to-bumper traffic, and you can do this. This is not some physical impossibility to stay alive on a motorcycle in heavy traffic. The trick is you don't expect them to see you. You count on them not seeing you. You have to watch out for yourself. And so everybody does all this shit with wearing orange and, oh, you shouldn't ride a black sport bike. If you ride a dark colored sport bike, you're an idiot. This and that. Yeah.
You seen those?
That's stupid. If you're trying, I'm not saying it doesn't do anything.
They can look at you and not see you.
Yeah, I'm just saying exactly. It isn't that it doesn't do anything to wear bright colors. It's that if you're counting on that making you visible, you already have the game fucked up. Like, that is not what's going to save you. What's going to save you is your own skill level. Because the only person you can depend on, exactly, the only person you can depend on is you. Mm-hmm. You don't know what anybody else is going to do. And that includes other riders and group rides. You can have sketchy-ass riders. Yeah, I've gotten hit before by a dude that's, like, not even that bad of a rider, but just, like, people in big groups, and you got a bunch going on. And, like, dude, you can only count on yourself. You need to be able to stay alert.
Happens. It doesn't matter, like, skill level.
Exactly.
I mean, we ran into each other before.
Yes, dude. I forgot about that. Seriously.
I got that scraped on my muffler and ripped the side of your bike.
Yes,
and that
dude.
was at the beginning, and then he had to wear it as a...
By the way, didn't wreck.
Neither one of us did, yeah.
We both hit each other.
And cars stopped so you could run back out and get your
this was not like a little bump. This was like, he literally ripped my side fairing off with his knee. We passed so close.
This is after my last wreck, and my knee was swollen
bursitis,
and numb.
Yeah, like blown up.
Yeah, it was all that liquid, and that's the one that I hit your bike with, so I couldn't feel it.
Yeah, totally.
And I just, it was black, but I couldn't feel it. It was just like, that fluid under, like, water balloon knee.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Fuck,
and, like, that part of my pants was tight and shit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that hit your bike, and then you hit the side of mine, like the muffler, and slid down. And then I was at the front of yours, and my knee
over.
It kicked us both. Yeah. And then, like, people saw pumping gas, dude. And then we just pulled in there like nothing happened. And then we just kind of was like, we looked at each other like, oh, shit. And then
there's video that we'll put up at some point of the rest of that ride.
Yeah.
You will notice, if you're looking close to the video,
have to ride to the left.
I have a plastic fairing sticking out of my backpack over my head, and it's because we finished this all-day ride.
That was the very beginning.
Yeah, the very beginning of the day, and we finished this all-day ride with this this plastic fairing sticking out of my backpack over top.
I could hear the wind resistance of that thing.
Yeah,
dude.
it wasn't great. It wasn't very good for handling.
But
yeah.
the thing is, neither one of us wrecked, and then that car stopped, so you could run back out to get your fairing piece and shove it in your backpack.
So, long story short, you have to be aware of your surroundings, and no shit, be aware of your surroundings. But there's a way you do that, and the trick is, don't get tunnel vision. Do not just look in front of you. I have a thing where if I'm riding in heavy traffic, I know what cars are behind me. And I don't mean like I have 2 cars behind me. I mean, I literally know there's a red pickup directly behind me in my lane. And in the opposite lane behind me is a fucking green Dodge, something like you know the color and the car itself, and not just, hey, I have a couple cars behind me. And so when you're driving, you want to do this 3-point look over and over and over again in a loop. You go forward, left mirror, right mirror. Forward, left mirror, right mirror. Like that in a circle. And you just do that the whole time. Do not get tunnel vision. Because if you're sitting at red lights with some gap in between you and the next car, and you're not just in the zone with your music on and you're checking your mirrors, you will have time if somebody is rolling up behind you and you can look in your mirror and tell they're not going to slow down and they are going too fast and something doesn't look right. Fucking keep your shit in first gear. Don't put it in neutral. Dip out of the way. If you keep from getting tunnel vision by constantly looking in your mirrors, it will save your life. And I think that combined with not just staring at the bumper in front of you, but looking past the car at what's in front of the car just in front of you, those things will keep you one step ahead of the action. They'll keep you one step ahead of what's about to happen. If you're just staring at the car in front of you, the one that's 6 feet in front of your nose, it might slam on its brakes, and then you are reacting to the bumper that's slowing down right in front of you.
Then
What you need to be What you need to be doing is, what is that guy seeing? Look right past his car. You will be able to see, even if your eyes aren't focused directly on that car, you'll be able to see if he hits his brakes. He's right in front of you. Be looking past him at something, a red light changing way down the road in front of him, or somebody crossing the street on a bicycle in front of him, or whatever else. Look past the car in front of you. Don't just sit there with your eyes glued to the license plate in front of you. You will for sure bite it that way if you're going fast.
Also, kind of pro tip, knowing the vehicles is good, but actually knowing the people driving them. Like, are they on their phone, or are they listening to music, like zoned out listening to music?
For sure.
If
you spot somebody rolling by driving sporadic with their phone up, watch that person. Keep a tab on them in particular.
Because it's not just them you have to watch out for, but other people notice that they're driving erratically, and they respond to that in a different way than normal.
Yeah, it's like this weird kind of hive mind sort of traffic. Like, you have to be tuned in with all of it. You have to be.
I mean, people get tired too. Their reaction time's bad. And you can, dude, I can tell you, not last season because I didn't have it, thanks, Bubs, but the season before that, I was driving through the Walmart parking lot, and I was driving where I'm supposed to be, in the main, I guess, lane is what it is to leave. And this woman comes out of nowhere, through parking spots, just trying to leave.
Cutting across everything.
Yeah. And we literally make eye contact. And she almost mowed me down. Like, I was driving, and she had this SUV, like this Chevrolet, because I remember the big bow tie. And she didn't even touch her brakes, dude. Yeah. I looked over at her, and I had a tinted visor, but I literally made eye contact.
Staring straight at her.
And it was just me in my bright blue bike, neon blue.
Yep. Super bright
blue
bike.
helmet, dude.
Super bright bike.
I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yep.
And I want to say she's an old woman, but she was like middle-aged. You know?
No.
It's just people just, they can see you, but they don't see you.
Yeah,
you know
it's like they're looking through you, even though they're staring in your general direction.
And another thing is listening to music whenever you're driving. Like, that's what I do. It's hard for me to do anything.
That's another thing.
Without it.
Like,
but
we all do it. We all do it. And we all listen to music while we're on our bikes. But if you're gonna do that, you need to be in your mirrors even more. I feel like it's almost not just like you
I
can't
turn
make
it
yourself
down.
robotically do it. You have to make your mood and your attitude go to where it's like you have an agile mind. Your mind is in kind of this frenetic, agile mood where you're like flicking from in front of you to your mirrors. In front of you to your mirrors. You be focused. I call it the flow state. Like I feel like you're in this state where it's like you're focused, but you're extra agile.
like Zen, dude.
Yeah, dude, like you're focused, but you're
Fluid.
shifting focus.
Yeah.
You're completely focused on what's in front of you for 4 solid seconds. Then you're completely focused on your mirror for a couple seconds, and then you're completely focused on the other for a couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're back to in front of you. You're shifting focus, but for the moments you're there all the way. And that's where you get into that like flow state. It's like you're changing what you're paying attention to, but it isn't that you're really distracted. It's just keeping your mind in this kind of this agile sort of
Kind of flow.
mood. Yeah. It's something where it might sound touchy-feely to talk about it, but if you've experienced it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that is where you need to be on your bike. Just get your mind where it needs to be. And, whenever you're really tired, pay attention to that. Give yourself some extra time. Don't go balls out when you're exhausted. You and I both know we are the worst about going with no sleep. When we met up at that job at the loading dock when we first met, we would be going like 24 hours with no sleep.
I gotta be honest with you, dude. I
Almost
can't remember.
on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. I mean, we were running so often with zero sleep.
It was like that was a dream.
Yeah, it was like the whole time
we're there.
was a
It's
dream.
like Twilight Zone.
Yeah, the whole time we were street racing, we were doing all this other stuff.
Oh, dude.
And what made me decide to quit this job was when I wrecked a car, seeing the
In
wreck
the
coming
parking
and
lot.
going, man, I need to hit my brakes. If I don't hit my brakes, I'm gonna
You
hit
were
this car.
you were in
And
a
then,
parking lot.
bam, hit the car and then stomped on my brakes.
You were in
And
a parking lot,
Yeah.
and you were just sitting there, kind of zoned
watching
out, but watching it happen.
my vehicle slowly move towards the car in front of me and go, I need to hit my brakes. I need to hit my brakes. Bam. And that is what happens when you're depleted like that. The top 2 things that cause deaths in extreme sports was, number 1 was peer pressure. Number 2 was being exhausted. That's what it always was. Like it was the second one was just being exhausted. And I think that adds up with everything you and I have seen. Every time we were super worn out, that's
actually funny that you say that, because like in basic, they make sure you only get 4 hours of sleep. Like
super, yeah.
they that's the least you can get, because they want everybody running in that zombie flow, so that
Yep.
if something is going to go wrong, chances are it is.
It's when
so that you know how to.
you're gonna be real tired
Yeah.
and having to react when you're
That's
super
pretty
worn out.
interesting.
Yeah, but it adds up. So I feel like it's no different than back when we were all in driver's ed, and you read the thing where they're like, if you are in a very emotionally unstable state and you're extremely angry, do not drive. It's the same kind of thing.
Did you
If you're
see that?
exhausted,
If
slow
there is,
down.
did you see where it says like so many hours of sleep equals to drunk driving? Like,
Huh?
like
I haven't seen that.
if you've been awake for so long, like your reaction time is that of intoxicated driver.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, truck drivers have to have a drive log, and they're, watched super carefully, is because, the same reason. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. And if you think about
Yeah.
it, I mean,
I can see it. Yeah.
you zone out, you pass out every once in a while. I mean, it's really bad.
Because you don't even need to be on that level where you're going like days without. You can just be on that level where you just don't feel sharp. If you don't feel sharp, you should definitely not be racing, and you should probably even slow down more than you normally
if you still want to go out, you should avoid traffic and avoid high traffic areas.
Avoid racing, if nothing else.
Yeah, just
And
if you want to go out, go on some
give
back
yourself
roads.
that little bit of extra margin. Yeah, because if you push the limit and you aren't in that perfect mode, it'll cost you for sure.
And you're going to see it coming and not be able to do anything about it, too.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that the sleep thing is a little more obvious, and that's secondary. But the biggest thing is just don't get tunnel vision, and check your mirrors. Check your mirrors a third of the time. Not a third, but check your mirrors constantly. Go in a cycle of looking forward and then checking your left, checking your right. Don't sit there and just stare straight in front of you.
Man, with that R1 I got, it came with those mirror knockout panels or
Yeah.
block plates. I wanted to use those so bad. I took my mirrors off for 2 days, dude. 2 days. And I took it out like maybe 3 times. And then I ended up putting one mirror on. Because I saw people driving with one mirror, you know?
Yeah.
Was it on the right side? Because I'm always in the passing lane. Like, who you think you're talking to?
No, of course,
you know?
yeah.
So it's always on the
right lane's the only thing that matters. Left is for looks.
There is a right lane?
I've heard people talk about it, dude.
It's like a legend. Take a picture of it, you know, put it on the wall, get some money for it. But anyways, yeah, and even with the one mirror, it's just like you feel like you're
a little blind.
You feel like you're blind.
100%.
And like you drove without mirrors,
It
but
was
yours
the
was
worst.
not by choice.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just a
Super
really bad
sketchy.
situation. It just kind of puts you in like a danger.
And if you
mindset.
get used to running without mirrors, then I would just say that's an issue in and of itself, because that means that you are missing on an entire half, literally half of what's going on.
You don't know what's behind you, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, they may not look awesome, but
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you don't have that tailpiece with the brake light on it, you know.
Yeah, as long as you
long
guys
you
have
don't
flush-mounted signals and a fender remover kit, we can still be friends.
Yeah, as long as you still, I mean, you know, mirrors.
It's
I don't
kind of
know.
a
Like
non-negotiable.
it looks cool, you know. It looks cool. I wanted it because it said R1 on it and it had the die-cast metal.
Yeah.
And you put on. I was like, man, I'm putting these on.
Yeah.
I didn't. Gee, it took forever for me to.
But it's kind of like,
and I was like,
hate
nah,
to,
I gotta
I
take
hate
it
to
off.
do this to you, bro, but it's kind of like the faux hawk on the helmet. Is it really cool if at 120 it whips your head sideways?
Bro, I had whiplash.
Yeah,
and everything.
like what? Regardless of how it looks, is it really cool if it fucks everything up?
It's cool to a reason. Like
cool
you gotta
for just looks.
judge like danger and coolness because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I still have limo tint
Yeah.
on my new car.
Yeah.
And I have to drive with the windows down even in winter.
Yeah.
But when it's like below
So
zero,
it's
but
gotta
it looks
be
cool.
good though. But when you're playing with your life, it's gotta be like, I have a date every Friday night, but I'm putting my life on the line. But if it's like, sometimes I get dates and I'm putting my life on the line, nah, dude.
See,
You gotta just call it. It
Yeah,
better
that's
be
true.
like some serious pros you're getting on it out of it. If the con is, I fucking twist my head around 90 degrees
All right,
while
well,
I'm going over 100 miles an hour on 2 wheels.
after that,
It better have something.
bro, sometimes one with that.
Yeah.
Remember whenever I was looking for that tinted visor, and then I used that spray-on tint on that one clear visor I had, and it was up, and then we were going on Raglan Road right here, and I was going fast, and the wind caught my visor and
All of
knocked
a
it down,
sudden, it's
and
just
it's black, dude.
Yeah.
I couldn't see shit,
Yeah.
bro. I almost like pissed my pants, bro. Like
So sketchy. Dude.
like nobody's in front of me. It's just
Yeah.
me and you. But
Yeah.
I heard my visor go black,
Yep.
and it was black. I couldn't see shit. It was
Pitch
like
black,
I couldn't
yeah.
see nothing, no daylight. And I was like, I hope nobody pulls out in front of me. So all I
Yeah.
did was like slow down and
Yep,
like
and
the
then
Lord is
flip
my
it
shepherd,
over.
you know. And then, oh dude,
Such
no,
a
dude.
bad
What
move.
happened was it was doing that. I was slowing down with my right hand with the brake, and I was trying to hit it.
Looking forward
And then
with that
that's
left,
whenever it
yeah.
broke, and it flew off the back because you went back for it. Remember?
Yeah, dude.
I straight palm heeled that
Just
thing off my helmet,
busted.
dude. Oh my! But that was that black one,
Broke
dude.
out
That
the old
black
school
helmet.
taekwondo on it.
Oh, dude, that black helmet has went through so much. Just
You would never know that such a piece of shit helmet would go through those many experiences. Like,
oh man,
it's a miracle that thing is even still in existence.
you can't really even raise it up the full like Iron
No,
Man piece
it
anymore
gets-
because pieces
it's-
broke off of it.
And the
It's
latch
super
is
glued.
so jacked, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that like Loctite, so it can't open up anymore because it'll fall apart. I think that Toyota's what really done it in, because that was the last bad wreck
Yeah.
I had with that one.
Yeah. That was where it was attached to the
'Cause that was broken
back
in
seat,
half.
right?
Yeah. But it
so
was
this
broken in
helmet
half.
was attached. If it should tell you that the wreck is bad when the helmet that you weren't even wearing, but just it was attached to the bike's back seat of the bike, never left the bike, but split the fucking visor completely in half.
No. That was the other one. Because I had my black one on the back, and it split that
one
one
in
in
half.
had
two.
Yeah. The one that you wasn't there with the Toyota, the Corolla.
Oh, you mean the
and
Camry,
not
the
Camry.
truck. Not the truck.
Not the truck.
Okay, I was going to say, because I thought the truck was like a Chevy. I got you. Yeah, no,
it's a
don't
GMC
worry
truck.
about it, guys. We're talking about which time we hit vehicles on motorcycles. Which time it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one, it was a lot worse than the car, but the car got more damage. I feel proud because I hit that car so hard with like my knee. That's whenever I got the tinnitus, wasn't it?
It was, dude, I want to say it was both times, dude, because you had the same experience I did, which is this knee afterward, if it gets hit, it just blows up instantly. You got it the first time when you hit the car, then later.
I still don't have feeling in it, dude.
No, dude,
it's still tight in the mornings, dude.
Mine's fucked.
Yeah,
mine's fucked, dude. And yours is the same thing. I swear, dude, like one of these hits where it's like it's as hard as you can possibly hit it without breaking it. Like we've gone through that multiple times now. Like. It's
that
jacked,
truck,
man.
I mean, I hit it so hard that it popped the gas tank lid out on the other side. Like, I felt accomplished with that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I got back up, you know? I don't remember getting back up,
Yeah.
but I remember running to my bike.
Oh, you were rocked. Dude.
Like, I remember locking it up, and then I was running to my bike, and I don't know what happened.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
I thought you were dead, dude.
It was.
Sure.
I didn't even know I hit it twice.
Because, like, she was with me on this day recently here when I was first on scene at this lady that got T-boned. But, like, when you are hearing somebody screaming their head off, that's a good sign because their lungs are working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you don't hear anything, that's when you should get sketched out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was radio silence, dude, and you were not moving. Like, I thought it was over, dude.
See, I remember locking it up.
So I heard two noises. I heard the skid.
Yeah.
I saw your tire slam, and then I heard that crunching plastic noise, and then I heard a separate crack like that of your helmet just checking off the side of the truck.
Check mark.
Yeah, because dude, it's from growing up on dirt bikes. You lock that
Yeah.
rear wheel up, and you
swung
spun
into
it
it,
sideways. Yeah, and so you hit with it like at an angle, and your rubber hit first, and then it swung the bike up, and it was crunching it, but then you hit.
See,
it swung you up and like sideways, just helmet into the side.
And the reason that you slide into it, is because if you hit head on, you're done. You're done.
Yeah,
your
you're
neck.
breaking
Even with
your
a
neck.
helmet, your neck snap.
Her and I saw a guy right before we came back from Marshall that was dead. The body was out there for like 5 hours, and he hit a truck exactly like you said, and he did not do that. He hit it straight head on.
That's what's dangerous about being on the highway and not paying attention because you don't have enough time to swerve or to swing into it.
When EMS showed up, they didn't even take his helmet off.
No,
they just threw
there's
a sheet
nothing.
over.
It's all one piece.
Yep.
I mean, brains and everything is stuck in it. And that's what happens if you go head first into it. You break your neck, you break your back, you break like
instant
it's over.
central nerve column.
But if you lock it up, the surface area that takes the impact is a lot bigger, and mostly it's your bike and metal frame.
Yeah.
But I remember
well, you're hitting the impact is first hitting your machine instead of just your body, like you said,
which is equally as painful.
Right.
Hearing that plastic sound.
But it's breaking it into stages a little more instead of leading with your fucking head at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, stopping yourself at 60 miles an hour with your fucking spinal cord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the word I was trying to think of. Yeah, your spinal column that's what, dude, that kind of whiplash, like just.
You don't come back from that. That's how you turn into a vegetable at best.
If you live,
Yeah. So it was that, but no, the Toyota.
You made it. It was low enough. You made it over it.
I did a flip over the car.
Yeah.
So backstory, I was going to go get my hair cut over at Matt's.
Yeah.
The barber shop in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Nice. I see that's a Matt original. So I'm late as normal, and I'm hauling down through there, and there's this little, and I'm gonna say it too. This little nerdy dude.
Yeah.
Like
Cheeto fingers. Dicking off, looking at something.
No, like pedophile mustache.
Okay.
Probably getting flagged on YouTube because I said that, but it is, and I'm not gonna, I'm not pulling punches on this section.
Yeah.
Petastache. Pet a bear. But yeah, and like I think even had like a plaid shirt on. It was just a real case work, you know.
Classic.
So, he's right after this turn. He's sitting in the middle of the road, looking at this Volkswagen Beetle, like the metal. It was like a '87 model or something. It was like a metal, and it was literally a lawn ornament. They had flowers like buckets in it, you know. And he was just sitting there. So I take that turn, and I'm hauling, and all I see is the back of that red Toyota. So what do? I lock it up, and I try to, you know, because I couldn't go around him because he was in the middle of the boat, dude. Like, I don't know.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to kick it sideways.
Oh, so I kicked it sideways, so I kicked it sideways, and my knees were so tight against that bike that I still had those pants, and it has green from the paint on my bike on the inside of the thigh from where I gripped that bike so hard, dude.
Yeah, and they got your knee ground in
into
between the two.
So what happened was the whole back bumper ripped off and was hanging on the ground, dude. It like detached from the car.
Yeah, I saw pictures.
Yeah, flipped over that. So a buddy of mine worked with this old man and his wife. His wife was taking his granddaughter to this yard sale at the time down there, and it was like I don't know. They were all down there, you know, looking at antiques or whatever, and it was actually that same yard.
And you went over the road into the yard.
Into the left on the other side. Like, they were over on this side.
You said you got up and you're like in some lady's garden or some shit.
So this is what happened. The car's right here, and they're over here, you know, shopping or whatever in the yard sale. And then here is the vegetable garden. Yeah. So I hit the car, and it goes like drop off into the garden.
Yeah, and like a bank off the road.
Yeah. And I walk up the back, and I remember the impact. Yeah. And then I'm laying in this lady's yard, and I'm hearing screaming. And I can't put two and two together. All I know is get up and get back to your bike, right?
Yeah,
so as soon
classic.
As...
Stick to the basics.
Yeah, stick to the... It's like muscle memory.
Save your shit.
It's like, oh, my bike. And then so I get up, I open my eyes, and the first thing I see, ladies and gentlemen, I hate tomatoes. That is the vegetable that I hate the absolute most. And what I see is a seed packet on a stick, like people do, like old people do in their garden, and it says cherry tomatoes, dude. And I'm just
so
like
classic.
Fucking tomatoes, and I hear people screaming and shit. And I'm like I'm not like but I'm like laying literally like
spread
chest
eagle,
in the dirt.
Eyes open up, and
like,
there's some goddamn
like
tomatoes
Guy, like
right
my arm
in front
is like wrapped underneath me, and I'm like fucking tomatoes. So I get back up, and I'm like running up the hill to my bike, and the guy's like, no, he's like, stay down or so. I can't really remember because I was like, you know,
a little concussed. Yeah.
Oh, completely. Yeah. And he's like, get down or don't move or something. Yeah, and I'm like, don't get up or lay down or something. And I'm like running to my bike, picking it back up, and I mean, it's like
weeded,
draining some like it's like draining
coolant. That was when that coolant leak started. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was when all the electrical problems started. But it was there, and I mean, an ambulance came by and checked me out and said that, you know, I had like a hairline crack on like my pelvis. I had was it broken thumb or was it index?
I want to say it was thumb.
Because I had a brace.
Yep.
And I had a stage 2, I think it was stage 2 concussion. Yeah. And
so many of those, dude.
They like, my short-term memory is just like
shot, dude.
And I mean, it's not like it's not something even proud of, dude.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I've been in so many wrecks or been, you know, in so many accidents, even not automotive related.
Some of the shit is just from us doing stupid shit. Yeah. It's not from stuff that was a legit accident. It was from like let's go into the gym and just throw the fuck down and get into like these gym wars when we're sparring and shit. For instance, like, really dumb shit that doesn't need to happen.
For instance, I made this guy mad, and he wasn't like he wasn't like retarded, but he just had a temper, a really bad temper, and he didn't watch what he did, you know. And I made him really mad. I don't remember what it was, but it was at the Oak Hill Park, and he took this slab of concrete. Like, he was a big guy. Yeah. He was in high school, and he just slung it at me, dude. Yeah. And it hit me right here in the back of the head, and I just dropped. Yeah. And I remember getting back up, and I couldn't see collars, dude. Yep. And I was petrified. Yeah. Everything was black and white. I couldn't see collars, and slowly, because I was like I got back up, but not completely, and I couldn't see the like green grass.
Yeah.
Everything was just gray, and I was, oh my god,
dude.
But everything kind of
I
started.
remember with this scar that I got on the back when I got knocked out cold down the gorge, waking up and like coming to like when you die in a video game and the ground is just sideways, and waking up and the corner of my vision on the side that I took the hit in was
I don't
like
know what it's called, but
like,
it's like
it's like there's a
black.
I don't know what
outline.
you call it, it's like
You can actually get it.
it's
as
like a
filter.
fuzzy spot in the corner in the side that you got hit on. It's like there was like a fuzzy spot there, kind of like I can't describe it any other way than that, but super sketchy, really scary, man.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Cause it's like somebody's just fucking with the wiring, dude. Like there's
Well, like what
scary,
Steve would say
dude.
whenever we were like boxing and stuff, he would say, you know, if somebody's coming at you hard and you can't do anything about it, you always protect your head because that's always protect your head because that's where you live.
Yeah.
Is in your head.
Yeah.
And that was that's something.
That's good advice.
That and whenever I got my black belt, he said that your belt would only protect about 2 inches of your ass, and the rest is up to you.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, he said, you know, always protect your head because that's where you live.
Yeah, it's a good
And
philosophy.
that's why even if we
that's for you guys in states where there's not a
that's
helmet
exactly
law.
what I was gonna say.
Wear your effing helmet anyway.
But the thing is, like, I'm kind of back and forth with that. Like, I don't believe there should be a law for helmets. I don't believe there should be a law
not
for
at all.
seatbelts.
Not at all.
But should you wear a helmet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I've had my visor up and got hit by a June bug and see stars for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ignorant if you don't wear a
Yeah,
helmet.
for sure. Yeah. Whether there's a law on it or not, you should wear one if you aren't a dumbass.
Well, the last time I wrecked my dirt bike, dude, I wasn't wearing a helmet. Hit the side of the building, and I don't have these back teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you always got to wear a helmet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it
And I
don't
think
look
as
cool,
we've
paint
gotten
it.
older, we're not interested in giving up any of the stuff that we're wanting to do.
just
So
gotta
it's a
do it
matter of,
smarter.
how are you going to figure out how to do it? Because all the shit we're doing, if you don't do it smart, if you make it to getting seriously fucked up, you're lucky. You can also die. So the whole game is do what you want, but stay alive. So
Or you could hurt yourself until you can't do it anymore.
yeah, exactly. And then you're losing. So the whole game is you want to do what you want that makes you happy, but win. Don't like.
Oh
don't-
yeah, yeah. That's like zipping
Don't
in and out
lose.
of. That's
Yeah.
like zipping in and out of traffic, and then you get hit, and then like your right arm gets decapitated,
Yeah.
or not decapitated, but
No,
gets
I know what you mean.
ripped off.
Yeah, totally.
And then what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you can't ride bikes anymore.
yeah, and that's what you were passionate about.
So
for sure.
and now you can only watch other people.
It's like
do it.
protecting an investment.
Yeah.
I want to get into how you and I met, or shortly after we met. So we were on our third date, was it? Something like that?
We met on our third day.
No. We were on like our third
Twilight
date.
Zone.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like our third date. And we went to we went to this park near the capital, Charleston. And we go in there on the bike, and we were hiking on this trail in there, and they, at dusk, locked the gates.
Yeah, and there's also a sign that says park closes.
Yeah, but I'm not familiar with this park. And you were like, hey, I think it closes later on. And
No, I said I don't know if they actually locked
you
it
said,
up,
but I don't know. No, you said it closes up, but I don't know whether they actually, like, lock the gates or
Yeah.
not. And by this time, we're already out there, and it's kind of
It's
starting
like
to get
11
dark.
o'clock.
No, it was 11 when we head back. But when we're out there, it like the sun was going down. And I was like, well, it's kind of late now. Like, if they're locking it, it's probably all over. Or they're probably, they've already locked it, so we might as well just enjoy ourselves. So at 11, like when you said it was time to pay the piper or whatever, and I'm thinking, if they have got the gate locked on this place, we'll still be able to fit a motorcycle through like a gap in between the gate and the thing or something. I didn't think it would be like lockdown mode. We get out there, and there is a bridge going over this waterway with guardrail running along it, and the guardrail seamlessly goes into a fence. on the other side, a chain link fence.
Oh, yeah.
And this gate is like a subdivision gate, dude. Like nothing. There's not a gap. Dude, a fucking dog could not have gotten out of the entrance to this place. Like it's like locked. And I'm like, dude, like what is this? Now there's like no one at the park. It's like deserted. There's no like employees there, you know? It's done. So I'm like, well, it's big and there's another end to it.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, there used to be this road on the other end that you could get out.
But I knew that they had changed it to the Air Force Base and you couldn't get out.
Right. So I'm like, well, there's
This
no
just
way.
got into a government situation.
Yeah, this just
Oh,
turned.
yeah,
This
it
just
turned
turned
into-
government. So I'm like, well, there's no way we can get out this way, so we might as well try the other. And we go to the other end, and sure
It's
enough,
locked
it's
up.
locked up too, like
Barbed wire fence, like real high.
the whole night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, now do you have a loud muffler on your bike?
Dude, it's a shorty. The thing's like this long. There's
So they
no
can hear. They're like,
baffles in
"What?
it.
What is
Yeah,
that?"
it's like
so you can't be
Pitch
stealthy
dark.
about it.
It's pitch dark. 11 at night. Yeah. Rolling up with a shorty muffler with no baffles.
Actually,
in
let's
it.
try to sneak it over here.
Yeah. So we get up there, and I'm like, we've got to get out. I call up my buddy that's a state trooper, and I'm like, dude, I'm about to jump the fence into this air guard base to see if they can, like, open the gate and let us out. What do you think could happen? Like, am I going to get shot? And he's like, well, I don't think you're going to get shot, dude, but, like, for sure that's not an ideal situation. Like, get out of that as soon as
Brooke
possible.
says, we'll just camp here. And I was like,
Yeah, I was like, all right, you know
No.
what?
Just with the
Let's-
bike, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, let's just go up in the woods.
Mhm.
Obviously, I got like a lighter with me. I was like, I'll make a little campfire up in the woods where we're not going to get spotted or get in trouble. I'll
That's
clean
probably like
it
an
up.
ideal. Yeah. that's
Yeah,
an
I'll
ideal
clean
thing,
it up
yeah.
in the morning. They'll unlock the gate at 9 or some shit, and we'll sleep out here by a campfire in our hoodies, whatever.
Yeah.
This is on like a Wednesday night or something.
Yeah.
I've got class at like 9:30 in the morning, an hour away at college. So her house is right smack in between where we are now and college, which is an hour in either direction. So like I'm like, this is gonna be a long ass night. Like tomorrow,
yeah.
it's probably not looking like a very good day for school at this point. But I'm like, man, it would really be ideal to get home tonight at some point. That would be really cool. So I finally decided to say, fuck it. I've got my gun on me. Him and I are both big, like, Second Amendment,
Oh, yeah.
concealed carry dudes, like 100%. If you ride a motorcycle and you don't carry a pistol, you're an idiot. But I leave my gun with you, and you're wearing like a backpack, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stick this in your backpack so that if I
And he
go in
leaves
there,
me.
yeah, and then
With
I had
the
to,
bike, with
Yeah.
the bike and the backpack.
Exactly.
Well, at least you had a weapon.
at
so,
least,
you know.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm gonna like go in here and probably get searched, so like
You
just
were
take
gone
the strap.
forever.
Yeah.
You were gone for like 30 minutes.
So I jump this like, I mean, it's like got legit barbed wire
Yeah.
angled out the whole nine. I climb up the chain link, get over it, which by the way, you guys out there at the air guard base, if you ever listen to this, your security
Lacking.
Yeah, a little.
Was
I
Air
mean, not the
Force Base.
security, but like the gate.
Wait.
The
It
gate
wasn't
and the
Air
fence
Force.
didn't
It's like-
do shit.
It was the
no,
Air
it's
Force
Air
National
Guard.
Guard.
Yeah,
It's Air
it's
Guard or
like-
whatever.
It was
is.
Aang. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So I walk through
Yeah,
there, and it's
whatever.
like weird. It's like you're walking through a deserted town. Like it's dark, but you can still see certain lights on
Yeah.
in buildings. You're walking down the main street, and there's like streets on either side of you disappearing, and it's like nobody is here. It was weird, man.
Was it like a
it was
training?
really. I don't know. It was a big area. There was a lot of buildings, but I'm walking through, and I'm like, man, is there nobody here? Finally, up ahead, right in the middle of the road, I see a guard shack, and I'm like, all right, we cooking with gasoline now, guys. Like, we're in there.
Gasoline or propane accessories.
Or propane and propane accessories. So I go up there, and I'm getting close to the guard shack, and I'm like, is there somebody in there or not? Because it's mirrored glass on it.
Oh, dude. So you don't know if they can see
No,
you or not.
dude.
Oh.
So I go around the corner, and I'm like, all right. I mean, I've
So
been
you
in
gave
this spot
her-
before. She's
you
got
gave
the
her your
pistol.
weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I go around the corner, and I'm like, I get my hands up, and I walk around the corner real
Do you
slowly.
run at him? Do you run
Yeah,
at him? Like,
yeah.
Hey, like start
walking-
reaching like this.
Yeah. And then a bullet comes by, and like that's how I got this nick taken out of my ear here.
I think you just joined a gang.
Yeah. So instead of dipping right around the front and where the open part of the guard shack is, I gave them a bunch of room, and I go way around the front, and I've got my hands up, and there's a dude in there in full BDU gear with like a sidearm and everything, and he's sitting on a laptop watching a movie. And I'm like, hey man, and I know no matter how I say it, eventually when he hears it, he's gonna be freaked out. Yeah. No matter how calm a voice you say it in, you know.
So you're like
I
ready for
said
him to
it like
jump
3 times. I'm like, hey man, like that. And finally he hears me. He's like, whoa, hey, do not move, and stands up. And I'm like, here we go, All right, we're in it now. Like, we're finally getting somewhere. Let's get this party started, And he's like, don't move. And I'm like, I'm not moving. I'm like, I'm unarmed. I lock my hands behind my head and whatnot. And he was like, of course. I'm like, I got locked into coonskin, man. I'm trying to get out, blah, blah, saying my whole story. And he's like, what? And so I repeat the whole thing around again. And he's like, all right, finally getting a little bit less taken aback, and he's listening to what I'm saying. And he's like, all right, man, all right. Being super cool with me, actually. And he's like, look, dude, I'm going to pat you down, turn around, put your hands on whatever it was. And I go over there, and, like, he pats me down. He lets me up, and he's like, all right, you're good. He's like, what is going on again? And I'm like, the old gate, the one that's, like, permanently shut down here. I'm trying to see if you could open it somehow so I can get into here, and then you can let me out the front gate of the air guard base, because the fence borders the air guard base and the park, and there's this old gate in part of it. And he's like, dude, I don't even think we have like the keys to that thing anymore. I'm like, dude, if you don't, I'm like spending the night in the park and I was like, I'm trying to kind of bro down with this guy. I'm like, my girl's back there, dude. She's like with the bike. I was like, she's gonna be like spending the night in the woods.
She's got all kinds of firearms.
Yeah, I was like,
she's got explosives.
Typical
werewolf.
I didn't say shit, dude.
This is like our third date, and I'm like,
yeah, like literally, dude.
My girl's got C4 in the woods, bro.
Yeah.
Now let us go.
Now look, dude. I've got like my girl back here with a suicide vest on.
I was gonna say,
she's real.
It's like,
iffy,
look, I'm gonna bro down, then I'm gonna level down with you. You know what I'm saying? Level the whole place. You know
all right,
what I'm
between
saying?
you and me, it'd be in our best interest.
It would be in our best interest.
Yeah.
She's watching right
Fucking
now.
crazy, bro. Please get me out of here. I'll take one for the team and ride her off into the sunset. And if she decides to blow it, it won't be with you guys.
It's either that, or you could have been like, "Oh, you're not gonna." Are you guys locked onto him? Okay. Now I'm just gonna ask you one more time.
Are you
it's
for
in
sure
your best
not gonna
interest?
open the gate? Yeah. No. So
how thick is this glass?
I'm like, dude. I'm like, my girl's back there, man, and I'm like, I'm gonna be stuck in here with her all night. Yeah. Pregnant, man. She's like hooking on the side now, trying to pay bills.
Oh wow, jeez.
No, I'm kidding. So like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, dude, like, she's back there, and we're gonna be stuck. And he's like, all right, man. I was like, I actually go to Marshall. I've got like fucking class in the morning, dude. He's like, oh, I go to Marshall too. That commute's a bitch. And I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. It's 3 a.m, bro. I'm on a bike in a military base.
An hour away.
Who are you
Gate
telling
opens
about
at
a commute? Yeah. Gate opens at 9. 30 minutes to make it back. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I'm gonna have to call my superior. I'm like, cool, all right. So do I just wait? And he's like, yeah, hang on. And he gets on the radio, calls this guy in, and you want to talk about pure comedy. Listening to this radio call. You blah blah blah. I've got a situation down here at the main guard shack, sir. I'm gonna need you to come down. What's the situation, such and such, over? Sir, I'm just going to need you to come down here. I can't really explain over the radio. I'm just going to need you to come down here. There's like a pause. The guy's like, okay, coming down over. And it's like you are getting chewed the fuck out after I get down there. So the guy comes down, and it was the most hilarious thing because it was like every superior that came down, it was like a perfect 10-year-older jump. The guy comes down, and he's like, this dude is like 30 instead of 20. He's like, so what's going on? I'm like, hey, I'm with my girl. I'm stuck here. Try to burn down a little bit. For every guy, it subsequently works a little less. For every gap up
because the generation goes further out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so he comes down. I'm like, yeah, she's stuck in the park, dude. Like, we got locked in here. I'm trying to get out. Wonder if you guys have the keys to the old gate. Yada, yada, yada. He's like, I'm going to have to call my superior. I shit you not. I'm like, okay. So he gets on the radio. exact fucking rinse
I'm
and repeat.
I'm just gonna need you
Gets
to
on
come
there.
down
Yeah,
here.
he's like, got a situation down here on the thing. Are you there? Like, he actually says, like, are you there? Because this guy's, like, obviously high up enough that he does not expect to get
Like
any
officer.
radio calls whatsoever at 3 in the morning. And he's like, yeah, what's the nature of the blah, blah, sir, I'm just going to need you to come down here. The guy comes
Run
down,
down there in his pajamas.
and I tell him the whole spiel, and again, he's like, tell me again what happened. And I'm like, okay. I'm stuck.
Just write it down for
Yeah,
you. So you can reread
exactly.
it.
So, dude, this guy is like, finally, the third dude is like, I don't even know if we have the key to that. He's like, I think I might know where we could check. And then he's like, he leaves and comes back. How long have you been sitting there?
Like 30.
Like
45
30, 45 minutes.
I was
like
talking about,
minute.
I thought it'd be longer than that,
Dude,
honestly.
a minute. Yeah, so he comes back. They have the key. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we are in business. I might actually get out of this, you know? And then the younger dude is like, oh, isn't there that magnetic strip under the thing? And it was, like, electronically controlled or something. And the guy's like, oh, yeah. You know what? He's like, we'll try this, but he's like, it might not even move because this thing is, like, magnetically holds the gate. There's, like, a strip under the concrete or something so that it can't be... It's like an electromagnetic thing or something. And he's like, but we'll give it a try. And I'm like, thanks, dude. Like, can we just fucking try it out and don't keep me in suspense?
Let's just kind of chit chat about it.
Yeah,
for a couple
we
more
get
hours.
down there, dude, and like I get in the truck, and these guys are like mash into this truck with me. We're all like jammed in there, shoulder to shoulder. I don't know these dudes at all.
That's when you
We're
take out
all
your
like,
knife, right?
Yeah. So like everyone is real awkwardly like driving back to the gate through the whole town thing.
And
There's just
it's far.
crickets.
It's
Yeah.
not-
Is it
No
quiet?
conversation, just like driving along.
No
and I've
radio
got these
chatter or
fucking,
anything?
just these fucking dudes just like jammed in next to me. So we get out, and the dude goes over, unlocks the gate, and like gets it open, like this much, like 2.5 feet probably. And for whatever reason, now I can't even remember why, it didn't open anymore. And he's like, so she doesn't have her ID, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
super suspect. He's like, listen, this is a big deal. Like, if this happens a second time ever for any reason, there's going to be problems. And he's like, you do not want this situation to happen again. Like, jumping the fence into this place. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot, is when the big high-up guy, the third guy came down, he was like, how did you get in here? And I was like, I jumped the fence. And he's like, you jumped that fence down there? I was like, yeah. And he was like, that's a really dumb idea, young man. And I was like, well, I'm kind of in a spot, you know? But after he gives the whole lecture again, he's like, do not make a habit of, like, jumping fences into, like, military installations. You get in a lot of trouble doing
Be
that.
like, oh,
Like,
cool.
I
thought that was an
Damn,
ideal
man.
situation.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Thanks for the info. So he takes all my information down off my license in case this was all, like, some big, elaborate hoax and we were just trying to, like, fuck with these guys or something. And she doesn't have her ID, but he takes down what she says is all of her correct information. The whole nine. I mean,
Take
like, all of her
pictures,
basic
everything.
info, her name and all that. No pictures,
Phone number,
but, like,
address, name.
the whole nine, dude.
Did you give him the real thing?
Yeah.
We said nothing about the Glock 43
I was going to
in
say,
her
did they
backpack.
check the back?
No.
Dude, they didn't even check her. And she's
I
sitting
would've
there.
shit my pants
Yeah,
if they did.
little girl here just kept her mouth shut like a little rider and said
Like,
nothing.
jeez, dude, if they would have caught that, a
It would've been
felony is
problems.
what you would have wanted.
It would have been
Is
problems.
what we would have hoped
It would
for.
have been problems. And guys, if you're listening to this, super not ideal situation. I meant no harm. I was in a jam. I did what I had to do.
If you jump a military
I was trying to
installation,
not get into
don't
trouble.
have firearms on
Yeah.
you. How about that?
So I kept them out of your place as long as I could. But then,
I guess they were just
dude,
so tired and everything.
because
they didn't
no,
check.
I think what it
But
was
a
is because it's
backpack.
her. It's
That's
like,
true.
and it was obviously like her
It was like-
little.
yeah.
She was wearing
like a
the
chick
backpack.
backpack,
It
or-
wasn't. Well, I think it was
It
just
was
the
just a
fact that
black
like
backpack.
we both had bike gear on,
Yeah.
and so it looked like we both had our separate little outfits.
Well, I
and
figure
she was wearing the
after
backpack.
all those people kind of filled you out, and they were like, okay, well, they patted you down.
Yeah,
You seemed pretty
yeah.
legit.
Like, it
You
was
wasn't,
kind of like...
cussing them
saw
every other
that I was
word and
sitting
everything.
over there just waiting to get let out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they let us through.
So
and
why
they-
couldn't you go through the front gate that you came through the first time?
That's the one that was completely shut up. There was no way to get out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, there wasn't anybody
The
there.
one-
Like, that's the only gate
that
you
was
get
the gate
and
in
out
the
of
park. We came in through the state park.
Yeah.
So
the
here's
air guard
the state
bases,
park
you can't go
entrance.
through it at all.
Here's the military exit that we went out. There's a big wall in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got into the military base, and then they let us into their base
Yeah.
through the gate,
Yeah.
and then let us out through their entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
like,
there wasn't anybody there at the park?
fuck no, dude,
No,
nobody.
it
So they
was
just like
locked up.
Dude, and
They
it was
didn't even,
locked up
check
like
or anything. They just
locked
it up.
down, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you had wanted to break in and vandalize that place, you couldn't have even
You have to,
easily
like, swim
done it.
across the river.
Yeah, I mean it was like ridiculous, dude. I found out later there was like some trail that I probably could have like ridden the rocket through the woods and like gotten out, but it would have been like some shit, dude. So he lets us through this little gap, dude, and is like, "Hey, I don't ever want to see you guys back here again." And we're like, "Have a nice night, cool, man." And we go out the front gate and like make it probably 40 feet out the front gate and just
Drop the
die
Glock.
laughing.
Oh.
We were fucking. Yeah,
Oh,
right,
God.
So we just like cracked up, like we could not hold it together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's how it went down. And that was literally on like our third date. And I knew she was a pretty chill chick after that.
I mean, would she hold your Glock while you break into
Yeah,
a
while I'm
military
hopping the
base?
fence into the air guard
Yeah.
case and doesn't say
And then you
anything.
come back with the superiors in the
Yeah.
truck, you know?
No, it was cool, man. So that's my raw segment for the week there. It turned out to be a good story, but it was a little iffy. I got back a lot later that night than I planned
Probably
on.
like 3 or 4.
My 9:30 class really sucked that morning. Yeah,
At least you went to it, though.
I did, dude. Yeah. Another semester not on academic probation, man. That's what I call winning. Even if it was just a bunch of C's. But I'm not on academic probation, so it's all good.
C's
Yeah.
get degrees, right?
C's get degrees. You're damn right. Yeah. So that's life lessons with Ninja XT and Throttle Therapy 7. So all's well that ends well, kids. That's what you do. That's what you do to stay alive. Don't tell them you have a firearm on you. No, I'm kidding. Watch your mirrors.
Watch your mirror.
Hide it before you break in.
Yeah. I think
That was
that's
pretty
us for
smart,
the
though.
night.
It would either be that or dig a hole and bury your Glock and then come back for it once it opens.
I could have.
Like,
Rick
that's-
is the pro of digging holes and burying things. So he doesn't want people to find.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No,
said
I
he's
used
the
to do
pro at
that.
burying things. So he doesn't want people to find.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was little with money and all kinds of stuff.
You got
like
to,
that.
yeah.
But like I think that's the biggest thing. If you want to take away a safety tip from our thing, is like
Bring a
Don't-
shovel.
don't get tunnel vision. Yeah, bring
Oh,
a
yeah.
shovel.
Yeah.
Don't get tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Lie about having weapons. Don't get tunnel vision. No, but for real, like that's
If
all I
you
got.
see guards at guard shacks, make sure you run up to them, act crazy, and flex on them a
Yeah,
lot.
try to.
Flinch a lot.
If you have your hands out,
and reach under your
Yeah.
arm a lot.
for sure, put those inside of your jacket while you're
And talk to
approaching.
yourself a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's me done, dude. I think that this podcast killed the last of my voice. So
Yeah, you kind of
I'm
went
like,
down
I'm
to
shot, dude. Yeah.
So this is going to be on YouTube. I'm not going to put 5.5, 6.5 on InstaCloud.
Nah,
SoundCloud.
let's not bother. Yeah.
That
That was nothing but to tell you guys why we weren't there.
yeah, and I mean it seems like SoundCloud is not really getting very much. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out iTunes. I've tried. I mean, I've tried and tried.
We're gonna get on there eventually, guys, but it's
I got
a
a lot
fight.
of free time now.
It takes a bunch of work. We have to kind of fight with the people there, but eventually we'll get this on iTunes.
Yeah,
So,
so it'll work out. Anything else you gotta say?
no, that's pretty much it. Catch me on Instagram at
Outside, how about that?
ThrottleTherapy7. Yeah, nice, cute. Catch me on Instagram at ThrottleTherapy7. Catch you on Twitter, NinjaXD.
And Instagram, because
Oh yeah, and Instagram now.
Yeah,
Our
bro.
boy's on Instagram now. It's
Instagram, dude.
_ ninja.
It's in the
XD
link.
_
it's
I
in
think.
all of them. I put both of ours in all the videos.
Oh,
I went
cool,
back
cool,
and
cool.
done that.
Good deal.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, Facebook, dude. I haven't even got on XD.
We're pretty much
Facebook,
over
and
that.
on my own Facebook.
Yeah.
It's just
Catch us on the gram if you want to
Yeah.
catch us. Yeah. Yeah. I would say follow you, but I mean,
I'm not important.
yeah. No.
ouch. Yep.
But this is Throttle Therapy 7 and
NJXD.
wow, dude.
Well,
wanna-
you
wanna
usually
try
say
that
it,
again?
and then you say signing out, and then you do like the hand thing.
Yeah, but I can't do a sign out with that kind of like lack of enthusiasm.
Well, I didn't know I was going to even say
All
it.
right. All right, you ready? All right. This is Throttle Therapy 7 and
You can't say and, that's what I
Okay.
say. I say and, you
this
know.
is Throttle Therapy 7
And NJXD.
signing out, motherfuckers. That was a good one.
I think that kicked the shit out of me.
Bro, that's what we pulled off exactly.